What up, everybody? It's your boy Adam, back at you again for day 7 of the 35-day, 5-week Rise and Grind challenge. I really didn't set any goals. I didn't have any specific things I'm trying to get done during the 35 days. The goal is to just do as much as I can. And the biggest obstacle right now for me are two things. Figuring out how to balance getting the workouts and the gym time and the bicycling, hiking, whatever it is, time that I need to actually benefit from that and be able to have the energy to get out of bed the next day. Like, that is a struggle right now. And when I started doing these workouts, I was doing a lot of different homework, research, AI, asking questions, looking for links, like watching videos, different things like that. And it pointed to when you start doing something, I wouldn't say it's extreme, but I would say I'm doing more than most people would in that department. And just as even though I have extra large bicycle shorts now, I'm pretty athletic. And in order to really feel like I did something and feel like I worked out, I have to crush it. I have to do more than what a normal, sedentary person would do in order to actually benefit and gain from it. And I know I'm getting stronger because the bicycle rides are getting faster. Last year, I rode 4,000 miles on my bicycle, and toward the end of all that, I was struggling to keep my speed up. And I was getting slower and slower towards the end of that run. But it was really the only exercise I was getting. Now I'm going to the gym and I'm doing more of a variety of things, including spin class and including, the things that make me stronger on the bike, but also working on flexibility and such. All of a sudden, my average speed on my bicycle is 5 miles an hour faster than it was last year. And I'm fat. I'm at the heaviest weight that my body will get right now. And sometimes my body just locks in. 230 pounds. I've really never been any heavier than this. But when I get here, my body just locks it and it does not want to let go and drop that weight. Unless the only way to do it is to starve myself and just not eat. Eat like 1,000 calories a day, just bare minimum. But then you're hungry all the time. And when you lose the weight that you want to lose and you get down to like 200 or 190 or whatever, the appetite, the hunger just goes through the roof. And it only takes about a month or two to get right back to where you were. So I got to figure out a way to drop it and keep it off. And I'm going to look up a comment. Somebody left a comment on a video this morning, and I should pop right up. Because I'm having a problem with the mornings. And this morning, I'm on day 7 of the Rise and Grind challenge. And it's Friday, April 10th, and I got up at 10 a.m. It's 10:15 right now. And there are things I don't have to do this morning that I've been doing this week, like laundry and such. But I also want to go hiking today. But I might not. My mind is just, when I wake up too late, I automatically just feel like garbage and guilty and oh, you idiot, why are you ruining your life? And, all those kind of feelings. And somebody left a comment on yesterday's video one of the channel members, Angels in Our Midst, said, "Mornings are a bitch, particularly if you're a night person. My therapist has told me for 30 plus years we need more joy in our lives. Even looking for more joy sounds exhausting. Have a great weekend, Adam." And, yeah, we definitely need more joy in our lives. We need joy in our lives. And the people in charge of this world, the people in charge of America right now, they certainly don't want you to have that. I've been saying all along, the people in charge, these satanic billionaire child molesters who rule over us right now, they want you to be three things. They want you to be broke, they want you to be stupid, and they want you to be sick. Because it's a lot easier to rule over a society that's broke, dumb, and sick than it is to rule over people who are financially independent, smart enough to know what's going on, and healthy enough to fight back. So that's what they want for all of us. They want you to be broke, dumb, and sick. And sick also includes sick in the head. They want your mental health to be broken. They don't want you to be able to be happy. That's for sure. The more depressed you are, the easier it is to rule over you, fill you up full of pills, and just twist your head around till you can't think straight anymore, and you don't even know what happy is because you haven't felt it for the last 20 years of your life. That's what they want. So take time out of your day to do something that makes you happy. You know, there's a lot of people out there that just work. Most of the advice in this rise and grind category, if somebody else was doing a thing about rise and grind, would be get up at 4 a.m. and bust your ass and work and go to bed at midnight. Like, where the hell are you supposed to enjoy your life in that? These are the gurus. These are the ones, I made millions of dollars by getting up at 4 a.m, going for a 100-mile jog, and then coming back and grind, and work all the way up until midnight, and then 4 hours later, I'm back at it again, 7 days a week. There's a new trend in the business world because of the broken and shattered economy that we live in right now called the nine... What is it? I can't even... I gotta look this up. Yeah, I'm not editing this video. Oh, it's the 996 trend, where you work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week at your job. And that's the new thing. Like, that's the cool, hip, new thing in business. Work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week at your shitty-ass jobs. You know, your job that could be remote, that you have to drive into downtown Houston to go sit in a chair and then dial into Zoom meetings all day from your desk, get back in your car and go home 6 days a week. And then what? How you get... Like, you can't cook a meal. You can't do anything. Like, what if you got kids? You're never going to see your kids. So that's what they want you to do. They just want you to be a bunch of broke, dumb, sick workaholics, and then you die. And so I'm not doing that. I'm done. I've checked out. I don't care anymore. I'm not doing that. But I got to do more. I got to figure out how to balance. You know, my zodiac sign is Libra. The scales, they have to be in balance. I need balance in my life. So I got up late today, and I still want to go hiking today. That's going to kill me physically. I'm 50-50 because I just got my new hiking boots that an awesome channel member made the donation for me to go out and get them. So I honored that and went and got them. But now I've got to get insoles for them from this place called the Good Feet store. Because I'm going to start them out proper. And so there's one that's like a 20-minute drive from here. But I got to find the receipt from when I originally bought my insoles. And it's a little bit of a process, but I can go get booted. I can definitely take care of my feet. So the choice today is go get my boots all booted up so that I can go hiking with those, or and break them in properly. That's why I want to go to the Good Feet store, so that the boots, when I start wearing them, they break in properly. Because they're not cheap, and if I'm not using these as like my daily wear boots, then they'll last a really long time. But it's either that or go for a hike today. And if I do go for a hike, I'll probably wear my trail shoes that I've been wearing, because they are broken in, and I just don't even want to put these new boots on my feet until I have everything squared away with the innards. So there's that. So I'm kind of in that debate stage in my mind, and I'm gonna have to sit down and grind on my client project. But what did I do yesterday? Because I'm doing these videos in the morning, so today is day 7. Yesterday I got up later than I wanted, but I was out of bed and doing my laundry at 9 a.m. Shot the video. It was 35 minutes for the day 6 challenge, day 6 of the challenge, but mostly talked about day 5. I finished up the laundry completely. So I'm doing 1 load of laundry a day because I use one of these third world portable Amazon washing machines that you put in your bathtub. And so you fill the thing up with a hose. I have a hose on my shower head, and I got a whole system around it. It works pretty good. But it takes a long time. The only way to dry the clothes is to hang them up on a clothesline in my living room / bedroom. So I have this paracord, and I just string it around the room. There's plenty of places to hook it to. And then I hang stuff up and put a fan in front of it. Pretty much like you would do in prison. And just let it dry. And so I can only really do 1 load of laundry in the day. And if I go a week without doing it, I'll have probably 3 loads. It would be like 1 load of laundry in a regular dish or a regular washing machine, but with this system, it's like 3 loads. And it takes time. I have to go and attend to the thing 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to walk back and forth between the washing machine and other things about 5 times before that load of laundry is completely done and hung up on the clotheslines, and then I can walk away and just let the stuff dry. So it's way more challenging than a regular washing machine. So when I say I'm doing laundry, that's that's way more work than a normal washer and dryer. The next time I move into a new place, it has to have either a washer and dryer already there or the hookups to have one. It's a must. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to a laundromat. I'm not living like this again. It's too much time. But it's not super. It's what I'm doing at home is better than going to a laundromat. So this is how I'm going to do it while I'm living in this place. So while I was doing the laundry, it's hard to sit down at my computer desk and focus on something deep, because I'd have to keep getting up out of my chair every 15 minutes or so to go mess with the laundry until it's done. So I just decided while I'm doing laundry, I'll do chores, wash dishes. I filled more of those water bottles, but you can see I've still got enough on top of the fridge. Those are the last ones I got to do. But using that water filter that you've seen in the background before, that's a process. You can only fill those water bottles as fast as the water filter will filter the water. And so I can get about 4 to 6 bottles filled, usually about somewhere around 5, let's say. Every time I fill the water filter and let it filter through the water filters, I can fill about 5 bottles. But I can blast through way more than 5 bottles in a day, especially if I'm doing cold brew coffee and stuff like that. So that's a chore. That's another thing that's hard to keep up with. Ideally, a reverse osmosis water filter would be your best bet because it would still filter your water properly. But if you want to keep 50 gallons of filtered water on hand in case of a power outage or an extended emergency, you can do that. Tuck it off to the side, and that reverse osmosis filter will just filter water for you on the fly. It's instant. You don't have to wait for a gravity filter to take 4 hours to filter a gallon of water. But right now, I'm just, I got to do what I got to do. So, and it's fine. I'd rather have filtered clean water than drink whatever that is that comes out of the tap. So, I chores. And then once the laundry was all hung up to dry, I just sat down and did client work all the way until it was time to leave or time to get ready for the gym. But, that was probably a 4-hour block. I don't even know. And then I have to get ready for the gym, which with all the stuff I do at the gym, I have to pack a lot of stuff. And I have a checklist for it. So it can take 15, 20 minutes. It can take up to an hour to do that. Depends on a number of different things. So then I get on, then I drive to the gym. It's a half-hour drive. And then so I went to the gym. I did rowing machine for about 45 minutes. Spin class for an hour. Then there's a half-hour break between spin class and yoga class. So lately I've been going over to this back extension bench, which you hook your legs in, and it's an angled bench like this, and you lay on it, and you put the top tip of the bench is right under your waist, and then you can bend over and hang off of the bench without touching the ground. And I used to use an inversion table back at my old house to keep my back stretched out and, pop tight places in my back and make them feel good and all that. This back extension bench, I watched a video where somebody mentioned that it's better than an inversion table, and I'm like, really? So I looked around the gym the next day to see if they had one, and they do. And I'm like, yo, I did it for the first time, and it right from my tailbone all the way up to the top of my neck, just just popped. Every single vertebrae that felt stuck and tight would just snap, bam, 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 up my back. The first time you hang over the edge of that thing. And it's instantaneous, where the inversion table, when you hang upside down, you might have to hang upside down for 5 to 10 minutes to get one vertebrae to pop. And it'll be a significant pop, and you'll be like, oh, it feels so good. It's like a chiropractor bump. But the back extension bench, it's pretty much instantaneous. It goes all the way from my tailbone to my neck as soon as I bend over for the first time and just hang for, 10, 20 seconds. And then you do the back extensions. You lift your back over and over. I'm doing about 10 reps per set, 4 sets. But I've only got like 15 minutes to do that. And then I go walk, and then the gym empties out where, there's like some weird Zumba class or something like that. Just basically, it looks like that movie Flashdance with all these girls in leotards jumping around and dancing and stuff, and you don't see a single guy in there. No, that's not for the dudes. So that room clears out about 6:45, and then I go waltzing in, set up my yoga mat, and just kind of get all squared away, and then basically take a 10-minute nap before everybody starts pouring in. And I'm never the only guy at yoga class, at least. There's a few regular dudes. There's one dude that's always there. So I always have Like, I'm not the creepy guy on the playground in a windowless van that says free candy on the side that, you know, surrounded by a sea of girls in yoga pants looking like I'm just there to creep on that. So that's good. That's good. It makes it a little more comfortable. So, but I did yoga class, and oh my god, yoga was so bad last night. Tough. The yoga instructor kept looking at me. She's like, "Are you all right?" She's like, "Why don't you just rest?" There's one or two poses that I was just like, "Nah, fuck that." Couldn't do it. And, you know, the room is surrounded by mirrors, and, you know, when I'm like, I can see why I need extra large bike shorts, and it's honestly, it's the most brutal self-assessment. Like, going to that yoga class is the most brutal self-discovery exercise, or whatever you want to call it, because you see it in the mirror. I weighed myself on the scale. I see it in the mirror, and then I see it in that mirror, and then I see it in that mirror. And then I can look in the mirror there and see the mirror back there, and I'm like, yeah, you see it from all angles. You see it. You see what you are. And then when you're doing the yoga poses, you know, some of them I'm good. Some of the poses I can do. And then you come across something and I'm just like, no, I can't. But then, you know, you look around the room and you see other people, and everybody, you know, the thing about yoga class is everybody's different. We all have different gifts from God, you know, and that you see that when you go to yoga. Now, yeah, you're going to have this yoga instructor in the front of the room bending herself up like a pretzel, and she's like, here, just put your arm around your back and your other arm here, and then put your head through there, and then take your leg and wrap that around your back and put it through there. And you're just like, yeah, all right, sure, yeah, well, I'll do that. I can't even touch my toes, for crying out loud. But yeah, I'll do that. But I mean, that's just the ideal. This is what you can become if you stick with this example. You know, you don't want me in the front of the yoga class with a bunch of people who are flexible. You know what I mean? It'd be like Chris Farley teaching a yoga class. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna work. But you learn. You can look around the room. I see, like, okay, there was one pose that I mean, I can't do it good, but I am seeing progress week after week after week, that I am getting more flexible in that spot, because I couldn't even begin to do it a month or two ago. And now I'm like, okay, I can almost finish level 1 of this pose, but there's probably 2 more levels to go. But I looked back and there was this one chick, she couldn't do it at all. But then this chick behind me, the one that couldn't do that pose, there's another pose where we have to do like a split, and I can barely put my legs apart. Like, everything is so tight down in there from cycling that I can't even do it. And I look back and she's just like, bow! Like, oh my God, how did you do that? Like, it was nothing. And so everybody's body's got different problems. And the thing, I always say, if you can only do one exercise, if you can only do one thing, dial up a yoga video on YouTube or Amazon Prime or whatever you got. There's yoga videos everywhere for free. You don't even really need a mat. You can just do it on a bare floor. The mat helps. But if you have a carpeted floor, you don't need a mat. But it helps. The yoga, it's like you combine weightlifting. It can be cardio if it's fast yoga. It's called power yoga. And it's very, you will sweat. You don't have to be in a hot room. You will have sweat just pouring down your face. But you can also, it fixes your back. It's like getting a back massage. It's like going to the chiropractor. It's stretching. It's like weightlifting without weights, because you're doing so. Believe me, you will find out the status of every single muscle in your entire body, and you will feel pain in muscles that you didn't even know existed the next day. But you will also feel really good at the end of a yoga workout because you're just going to feel loose, limber. You're going to feel like you went and got a massage, went to the chiropractor, went and worked out. You're going to feel like you did all those things in one shot. And it's an hour. If you go to, proper class is an hour. You're going to accomplish more in that hour than any other workout. I don't care what it is. But it will show. So, like I said, because I can get on the scale, I can see that number. I can look in I can look in an infinite number of mirrors and see my fat XXXL bike short body from every angle and every pose. And I can, there's a pose where I got to hold my whole body weight up with one arm, and my arm's just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. But then, when it comes to leg strength, I got the strength in my legs, but my feet are so messed up. I can't stand on my left foot at all. I can't put any weight on my left foot and hold my balance. My feet are I may as well just be a pirate with a wooden leg from the knee down. That's basically how useless my feet are when it comes to body support and stuff. So it's like you just discover all these things. And you discover, if you were to go lift weights, I know what to go do. Yoga will tell you where you're strong, where you're weak, where you can flex, and where you can't. And it just it's like a full picture. It's like a full assessment of you. Except for, your high end of your cardiovascular capabilities. I would say go to spin class to figure that out. With a heart rate monitor. And if you push yourself, you'll find out what your maximum heart rate is. Mine's 182. I know, I cannot make my heart beat faster than 182. And it's hard. It's very difficult to push myself hard enough to hit 182 on a bicycle ride. And that's the only way it's going to happen. The only thing that'll do that would be a bicycle ride and maybe swimming, if I started swimming again. So, the gym, I'm not even going to talk about it. There's something going on at the gym. I'll talk about that in the live stream. But after the gym, I went to the grocery store. I got a bag of potting soil, and I had to get a proper size pot. So I have this pothos plant in my bathroom. There's a perfect spot right next to my bathtub to put a plant. So I put that. And it outgrew the pot. It needs a new pot. The plant's fine. Those things are very easy to grow. My black thumb can grow that, no problem. But it's too big for the pot. So I got a new pot, came home, and the new pot was like, whoa, that's way too big. Because my eyes weren't doing the proper... I have a pot over here that's the exact same style, and I thought they were the same size. And I came home, and the new one I bought was way bigger. And I'm like, oh, darn. So the way bigger one has a perfect spot in my living room for it to sit, but I need to put a snake plant in it. Because it's the only plant that'll fit in that space. It'll go straight up. And it'll look really good there. And the light is perfect for a snake plant, but I have to go get one. I have to kind of go hunt around and find proper size snake plant. And I saw one at the grocery store the other day, but I didn't get it. I probably should have, but that's what I got to go find for that pot. But I did find a proper size pot for the pothos in the bathroom, so I can do that. And then I came home from the grocery store, and that was that. And I didn't get home until about 11 o'clock. 10:45, 11 o'clock. So I leave to go to the gym at 4. Get home about 10, 11 o'clock at night. And so that's rough. I mean, that's it for the night. I come home, as soon as I sit down on the couch, about half an hour later, if I try to get up off the couch, it's body's oh, I can hardly walk. But as I was saying in the beginning of the video, and then I kind of went off track, my research was telling me I'll need about 12 to 16 weeks before my body gets truly accustomed to the level of fitness or the level of the workouts that I'm putting myself through. And I'm on week 11 right now, I think. And so if it's going to take the full 16 weeks for my body to adapt and just be used to this is what it is now, that's 4 months. I'm still going to need 5 more weeks of doing this before my body is accustomed to it. And so, I mean, I am adapting. Like, I'm definitely, like, I'm feeling, I'm sluggish this morning. But after I get my coffee going, I've got an empty mug here, so I gotta wait until I'm done talking to you to go get another mug. But once I'm up and about, I'm good. And I'm not feeling the fatigue. I'm not like it doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter. You're going to be tired at the end of a hard workout. It's just the way it is. That's never going to change. I rode my bicycle 4,000 miles. I was riding my bicycle 500 miles in a month. On average, 400 miles a month. There was never a single day that I didn't come home and an hour after that bike ride just collapse and be pretty much unable to do anything and then feel like complete garbage the next day. And if I didn't have to get out of bed the next day, I'm not getting out of bed until like noon. So like that's just, it goes with that. I just could not get myself out of bed today. Like body was just like a lead weight. Couldn't move. Just completely stuck. But maybe after 16 weeks, because I am feeling better week after week after week of what I'm putting myself through right now, which isn't, like I said, it's not the most extreme workout structure, but when I compare myself to other people I talk to at the gym, it is way more extreme than anybody there, including the instructors are doing. And so it's having a positive effect, but it's also having a negative effect. Negative effect of being run down and way more tired on the days off than I should be. And also the time it takes out of my weekly budget, because we all have the same budget of time. We have 24 hours in a day times 7 days a week, and that's what we have. And that's all we have. So it eats up a lot of that. I'm going to go tomorrow morning, hopefully, maybe. I don't even want to say maybe. But I'd have to get up at I have to pack my bag tonight so that I can be up, and I got to be out the door at like 7:30 at the absolute latest to be there on time to do the routine again. And so I might make some adjustments as time goes by, like maybe doubling up the classes like I'm doing, or just some of that. Maybe some of this, maybe I just need to make some tweaks here and there. Don't ever feel like, that's another tip, don't ever feel like you gotta lock into some exact routine. I change it up all the time. I come up with a system to track this or do that. I've been logging my calories that I eat, and I'm starting to get burned out from that. Usually when I log my calories in a thing like MyFitnessPal, I can do it for like maybe a month, maybe a little more. I feel like I got maybe 2 more weeks. I'm already like, I don't even want to do it anymore. It's like I feel like I learn things every time I do it. But to meticulously do that every day, week after week after week, it takes time out of your day. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it's time that I gotta sit here and look up all these foods and just, and then like I don't know. For me, I know I'm not gonna stick with it. There's other things that I come up with. I do it for a few weeks. I learn something from it. And then I'm just like, I don't need to keep doing this. So don't feel like you have to, don't feel like you got to come up with like the perfect system that you just follow from now on. The perfect routine. Just change it up. Do what works for you this week. And if you need to change, make a change. Like don't feel obligated. Like I'm not going to feel obligated to do this workout routine that I'm doing right now forever. Like I said, maybe in the next couple of weeks, I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's closer to me. I might start going to the gym that's there's a reason for that goes above and beyond just the distance. The hot tub and the pool have been closed where I'm going right now, and that pisses me off. Like the hot tub, and whenever I ask them when they're gonna fix it, they're like, oh, like, or the manager of the club, I saw him and I was like, when's that gonna? He caught me an attitude. He's like, we'll let you know. And I'm like, well, we're paying for this shit, so why don't you let us know? And I just have this feeling like I've noticed certain things that the gym is doing where it looks like they're cutting costs because of the bad economy right now, seeing what they can get away with cutting costs on to keep their profits up. And I have this feeling that they shut the pool and the hot tub down when there's nothing wrong with them, so that they don't have to pay the bills associated with maintaining them, keeping keeping the hot tub heated. There's bills and maintenance and stuff like that goes with that stuff. So I have a feeling that they shut it down just so that they don't have to keep paying for it. And they're just gonna gaslight everybody and say, "Oh, it's closed for maintenance." So I'm gonna, we'll see how long that lasts. We'll see. So I'm going to go to there's another one closer to me that also has a hot tub and a pool. And I'm going to call before I go over there. But I almost wonder, did they do this at every single location that has a hot tub and a pool within a close drive of me? Oh, we're doing maintenance just so that they don't have to pay the costs of keeping the pool and the hot tub going. Because we're in a crappy economy and every company, it's the same concept of shrinkflation. Everything costs more, but you get half as much. So I feel like that's what they're trying to do to us. That's what my spidey sense says. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. So that's where I'm at. What did I rank myself at yesterday? I gave myself a 6. I feel like my biggest thing right now, so if this is the end of week 1, my biggest thing is I've got to get up earlier. I got to find a way to force myself out of bed. I might have to set an alarm clock on the opposite side. Like, I might have to put an alarm clock over there where the farthest possible place from my bed, and have a coffee mug sitting right next to it, so that on the way to turn off the alarm clock, I can open the door of the fridge, grab my cold brew bottle, grab some creamer, walk over, turn off the alarm clock, and make the coffee, and now I'm up. That might be what I have to do. I don't know, but I'm kind of like, I'm almost thinking that might be necessary just to force my ass to get up. I don't have a problem getting up if I have to go somewhere, like I'm obligated to go to a job, or I have a meeting or something where other people are involved and I have to be there. I'll go. I could get up and go through the pain and everything. But when I don't have to, that's when I collapse. And it doesn't mean I'm not going to do anything, and it doesn't mean I'm not going to be busy from now until close to midnight. Some of us are just night people, like that comment on my YouTube video yesterday. Some people are just night people, and we do better. I'm not a morning person. I said that. I was talking to my yoga instructor after class yesterday, and she was saying, we were talking about her class schedule or something like that. And I said, yeah, I might come on Saturday morning. And I'm like, it's always going to be might come, because I'm not a morning person. And she's like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, huh? I was kind of taken, I'm like, I don't recall ever saying that I'm not a morning person, so how exactly did you know? But whatever. Is it really that obvious if I show up to a morning thing like that? And is it that obvious I'm not a morning person? But I'm not. When I'm forced to be, I can be, but I do better in the afternoons and evenings. So with that, that's where I'm at. I gave yesterday a 6. I don't, the 10, the perfect 10, I don't know. I've got 4 more weeks to see if I can do it. The perfect 10 would be getting up at like 6 a.m., getting started with things around 7 or 8, and busting my ass until it's like 11 o'clock at night. The 996 work week is fine if you're doing it for yourself. If you're the CEO of your company, if you are working on your startup, or if you are doing your grind and your hustle for you, and you are going to get the benefit of that 996 work week, the 72-hour work week, the new trendy thing on LinkedIn, then go for it. But when the 996 is for them, and you're a salaried employee, and you're not making any more money for your 72 hours than you used to make when you only worked 40 hours, then fuck them. Don't do it. Like, why would you bust your ass so that when the CEO sells the company and, makes a, $10 million bonus, you get a pizza party as a reward, and you don't get a bonus, you don't get a raise, you don't get anything other than a couple slices of pizza? No. Anyway, with that, I'm just going to say peace out, and we'll talk again